Welcome to the Spit Bucket Hotel Party.
Thanks for joining us.
Because all the turtles do is snort coke with the straws that we throw in the ocean.
Yeah.
So.
Plastic straws.
You don't want to support their drug habits.
Yeah.
You see people in Europe, they're using spaghetti straws for regular straws now because they're biodegradable. Yeah,
Spaghetti straws?
Oh,
Spaghetti.
what
Like,
the fuck?
the noodle straws. They're like the hard shell noodles.
So they just make
They don't cook
make
them.
longer noodles.
They make longer
to use
straw
on
shaped
straw.
Called
noodles.
strudels.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, welcome to another episode of The Spit Bucket. My name's Omar, and joining me at the table is the Russian spy herself, our very own Black Widow, Jam Guinto.
Thank you. If I look at how crazy this thing is, okay? Look at if I zip this up all the way.
Now you just look like Ivan.
That's mean as fuck. Damn.
It's like a scuba outfit.
I like that the hoodie isn't big.
Like the actual hood itself is small.
It doesn't have any slack.
When you put your hood on, it doesn't have slack. I like
Erik.
that.
Yeah, it's very
I didn't bring a hoodie because
air resistant. You could probably run really fast in that.
I'm sure that this is
Like
that's
Sonic.
what this is for. Literally on the tag it said scuba. That's all it said was scuba.
That's about right. And also, at the table, we have, with his ears sticking out of his own hoodie.
I thought you were going to say ass for some reason.
I mean, I don't know what's sticking. I haven't seen your ass, but maybe it's sticking out of your hoodie.
You haven't?
I don't
looked.
I don't look at what I eat. All right, it's Ivan Prado, everyone.
Hello.
back to
I'm trying to do my best Alex impersonation.
I bet.
Hello.
Wow, it's like he's here, but he's not.
We don't know for sure Alex is alive though.
And then, Alan, I don't have an intro for you. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Skinny boy.
He's got a nice
Skinny
little
legend.
skinny legend, Alan Mendoza.
Bones.
What it do, boo boo.
He said bones.
We're bringing it back.
Speaking of
Yeah,
boo boo,
they used to call me Bones in high school.
did they really?
That was a
Alan
nickname.
Bones Mendoza.
Oh, that's not very
That was a
nice.
nickname. Yeah, they were good friends.
All I have to say is that I touched your leg last night.
I remember that. He's like, damn. He's like,
damn, I forgot how skinny I
Yeah,
am.
it's
Not
bone.
a bad thing.
No, I know.
I was like, man, this boy's thin.
How many Alan thighs can fit in Ivan thigh?
Probably like 2.5.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Speaking of boo boo, Eric actually fed us some today.
oh, I was like,
Oh,
what?
that's right.
I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna say I thought you were doing like a honey.
No.
That's what I thought we was going
The coffee connoisseur, Erik Mendoza, the other Mendoza.
We're
Do
not
you
going to elaborate on the
Yeah, do you want to tell us about it, Eric?
Well, you've talked. Wasn't that on the podcast you talked about?
No, it was just on my Instagram story. Underscore the Shark Boy.
It's like Philippine coffee that's filtered through like wildcat poop. That's like the best explanation. It's like $60 a pound.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the most expensive coffee in the world.
Yeah, because they have to feed this like wild animal. Well, apparently some of them, most of them, they have like in a sanctuary, so they're not just like they don't have to just find them and then hope they find their poo. But basically, they feed a certain kind of nut to this animal,
To this
and they
cat.
watch it over time. Yeah, it's a cat. It's like a wild cat, and they watch it over time, and eventually, with the nut,
They watch
nut
it nut.
goes through its body, and it gets like this and that. All this crazy stuff happens. Apparently, when it poos, the nut turns into a bean, and then that is turned into coffee. So I brought some of that, and that's what we had.
And I'm not a coffee person, but that shit was good.
It was
Even,
really
it was
good.
fine
It was
without
it was
the
chunky.
creamer. It was
So-
good with the creamer, and then it was even better with the sugar.
Yeah, that's true.
But it was a good experience.
So it was. Eric, you want to do the next intro?
Of course he does.
All right.
Also sitting with us.
I don't know a good title.
All right, well,
Stephanie's here.
Stephanie's sitting on the podcast.
Sorry.
Hi.
It's alright. Here, let me.
I hope you like your intro.
I did. It was great.
Hey, speaking of nut, because Eric wouldn't stop saying that. Have you guys seen the new season of Letterkenny yet?
God damn it.
No.
There's a
I
scene.
haven't watched any of it.
There's a
That's not
scene
what
where
I
he's
thought
watching
that
a
was
porno. I want you guys to hear it.
Wait, is that
He doesn't look like he's having a good time.
what? Is she saying butt nut? And now he's just shook.
That sounded like the Connie's mom from King of the Hill.
Oh, it did.
You're both.
Min soup into some home. Is that her name?
Yeah, it is, man. Because what was the guy's name? Khan, right?
Yeah.
Khan Min and then Connie.
And then
Khan Jr.
yeah,
It was Khan Jr.
And
but they called
Doggy.
it- And Doggy.
and
Yeah.
Doggy. Can't forget about Doggy.
Man.
I'm guessing that's the name of the dog.
Yeah.
But no, that's the daughter.
Anyone else think it was really weird that she just happened to be really good at shooting a shotgun when she went to Dale's Gun Club?
No, I don't
No.
remember that
It-
episode.
I don't think it ever laid down like a backstory of why she was so
Why
good at
she was good
shooting
at-
a gun.
Just like how she's good at playing the fiddle.
The other day,
You mean the violin?
me and
Yeah.
Omar looked at.
But she could play a fiddle too.
There's this website called howmanyofme.com where you can see how many people in the United States have your name. Turns out I'm the only Gemma like Ginto. There's only one Omar Abungus.
Is it him or is one other one?
I am the one.
Because it says that there are 2 or less than 2 of like our names, and then we look up a John Redcorn, and there's about 5 of them.
There's 5 John Redcorns out there.
I think there's 4 Ivan Prados.
Let me look this up. I have it open.
Is there?
You
What
should
happens
look
if
up-
you're
I
all in the
wanna
same
know,
room?
Does it
fucking find all of them.
account for like different spellings of the same name?
No, I think it's like
So
exact.
I'm pretty
your
sure
exact
there's like
name.
a bunch of mine.
There
Well,
are
probably
6
not.
people in the U.S. named Ivan Prado.
Can you look up mine? I'm
Nice.
curious.
I'm gonna find all 5 of them and I'm gonna kill them one by one.
That'd be a good movie. I'd watch that shit.
The last Prado.
time.
Hell yeah.
The final Ivan.
Are we doing hyphen Laura or just
No,
Mendoza?
just Mendoza.
Just Eric Mendoza.
Are we
Yeah.
bleeping out these last names, by the way?
No, why?
Okay.
Everyone knows who's on this
Okay,
show.
here we
He
go.
calls us by her name.
Yeah.
There are
I know.
112,324 people
It was
with
like
the
the-
first name Eric, spelled the way you spell it.
Okay.
Basic as.
So then what's my last name?
There's over 200,000 with the last name Mendoza, but there are 70 people in the U.S. named Eric Mendoza with your spelling.
Damn, you're gonna have to do a lot of killing.
Good luck, man. You better get started.
Ivan, you got an easier job with only
Yeah.
6.
That's how you spell it, right?
Does that include me, though? Am I included in those
Yeah.
6? So there's 5 I gotta kill.
No, you could kill all 6.
Yeah, I might be. I'll be the last one.
Before we actually jump into the show, we did go to Zombie Walk yesterday. So this is the day we're recording. This is the day.
Wonder if you were. For
So
Stephanie.
she's the only
Stephanie's
one.
the only one.
Are you
Nice.
spelling it with the 4 E's and the 2 I's?
Underscore 21 or whatever.
Yeah.
But the day we're recording this is the day right after Zombie Walk. Should we talk about that a little bit and the weird ass experiences
It was
that we had?
interesting.
I'm pretty disappointed
I was
in you
very
guys.
scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the fuck were
Okay,
you guys?
okay, hold the fuck up, alright? Because the 2 times that I had it was I was building it up. I was pumping myself up.
So
and you guys
we
take
were
it from me.
we were handing out stickers. That's what was going on. We were trying to do some self promotion at Zombie Walk, and Jam and Alex handed out 0 stickers.
But I vandalized a few times. Just kidding, no, I didn't.
Did you stand there awkwardly or like?
We kept trying to hype them up, and they were like, all right, I got this. And then we would literally walk by our demographic, and we'd all just look
That
really
last
disappointed.
group of people, though, I had the stickers ready
Yeah.
in my hand.
There was a couple.
And then I'm like, I was gonna go, and then you guys swooped in for the kill, and I'm like, well, now I have these.
To be fair, Omar did that to me too. So
Yeah.
I was like so freaked out. The very first people I was about to talk to, besides the bartender, I was like, all right, I got this. I had the stickers out, and I like took a step towards them and leaned towards them, and they saw me, and then Omar came up behind me. Hey, you guys, we do a podcast. And I was like, damn.
I didn't know that you were gonna do it, and I didn't want to lose them.
I was freaking out, but it wasn't too bad. I mean, I handed out almost all of them. I think I talked to about like 6 or 7 people. Omar did like 3 or 4,
I have 3 stickers left though.
but we did give out a couple extra to those guys with
Yeah.
full costumes.
So anyone that we met at Zombie Walk, thank you for joining.
Omar, do you want to talk about the lady who removed you from our group?
Molested. I got molested.
The
at
girl
Zombie
that was
Walk.
trying to come after you. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
the woman.
We were.
She pickpocketed you.
Dude, she might have. That's probably why I only have 3 stickers left. She wanted all of my stickers. Alan was buying mozzarella sticks, as you do.
I was hungry.
And some lady saw my big old shark head, and she's like, "Can I get a picture of you?" I'm like, "Sure." And she's like, "Come over here." I'm like, okay."
Come into this dark alley.
And then she wanted me by the light. So then I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll stand right here. And then she fucking grabs me by the shoulders, moves me closer to the light. And then she's like, yeah, this is a good spot. And then she takes out her phone and then literally gets like this close in my face, like 5 inches away with her phone. And then she just starts taking pictures. But it looks fake as hell because she's not just taking them straight or sideways. She's doing that thing where you're like this and like just moving her phone from left to
Getting
right.
different angles.
Yeah, getting that 45-degree angle, that that 35-degree angle, that 12-degree angle.
Something happened.
And
Yeah,
You got
she,
your
she
identity
definitely took
stolen or
advantage.
something.
Yeah, she took advantage because Omar couldn't see. The lights in his mask were blinding him a little bit.
yeah,
Dude.
So
it was kind of wild.
that was
And you
crazy.
came
Check
back
your
to
bank
us?
and shit, and like,
You came back to us and you were sweating.
Dude, I was
and then
sweating
she was
so
like,
hard.
Do you want these pictures?
I'm like, no, I have a bunch. Like, why the fuck would you think that I didn't have
She was
pictures of
trying to
myself?
get your number too, dude. That was the
Yeah.
last thing she needed before she stole your social security number.
that's true.
Honestly, I mean, what if she was rich though? What if I could have taken care of all of us?
I think we all do pretty bad in social situations.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't too bad for me. The worst part that happened yesterday was when I ordered the drink at that distillery, and they brought me like that little martini glass, and then Jem looked so disappointed in me. I'm like, wow, I should have asked for a different glass or something.
It was literally like, do you remember, Ivan, when we did the Faygo taste test while reading ICP lyrics? So it was glasses smaller than that.
Think like a martini glass, but stubbier somehow.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a look, really.
Well, martini glasses are supposed to be kind of big still.
Not the one he got.
It had to have been at least like 4 ounces or something.
Because I remember
Yeah.
Omar
How
got
much
his
did you pay
drink.
for it?
It's like $7.
Omar got his
With a
drink,
tip.
and it was like a little cocktail glass, and it was still kind of like dainty, and they gave him a little straw.
I saw that. I'm like, damn, I look like a pussy right now.
And then Alan was
they'd be
looking
right.
at it,
And then they
he's
brought
like,
out my drink.
And
and
it's
he's
even
like,
smaller.
and here's yours. As he's still shaking it up, he brings out this like
Little filter.
this strainer thing, and he pours it over this tiny little glass.
And as he's pouring it, he's like, "You want a straw, you fucking bitch?" And I'm like, "All right."
I literally saw Alan like do a blink and cross his arms.
And lean back.
Yeah, just trying to look like a man drinking this.
Omar got his drink, and Alan was like, "Hey, nice size," and then they brought him a smaller glass.
He said, "Look at that tiny ass drink," and then he brings him.
It was perfect, honestly.
Yeah, honestly though, I thought Alan knew what he ordered. So
No.
when I ordered mine, I'm like, man, Alan's gonna think that I'm a bitch for this drink that I got.
What did you get, Omar?
I just got some like whiskey with soda water or some shit like that.
It came with one blueberry.
Yeah, one lone blueberry.
Anytime
at
I
the bottom.
ever order a drink, I don't want to look like a bitch, so I'm like, what's like the manliest looking drink? Just fucking straight vodka.
He like
A cup of Jaeger.
he like makes a fist, pours vodka, and like clocks you in the face or something.
He's like, here's your drink.
Is it that blue wave thing? What is
It's
that?
free if
Oh,
you
the
get
blue
back
wave,
up.
that's when they throw like a bucket of water.
Yeah,
at
you get like a shot, and you take it, and then they chuck
Throw
a
water, like
bucket
this.
of water like at you.
What the
What?
fuck is that?
Oh,
Wait,
I see,
where
I
is
see
this?
videos when
Bars.
Well,
like,
they do that back in Macomb, but
That's
I
not
don't know if
Macomb
that's like
shit.
a real.
Well, people,
A real
it's
drink?
like a
Like a
real
thing or
thing.
not? Is it?
Yeah.
because they do that sort of thing kind of in Mexico and like Cancun at least. They'll give you a bunch of like
They
tequila.
kidnap you right
They'll
after.
spin you around. They'll smack you a
Shake
couple
your
times
head.
and they'll shake you. It's very violent. Yeah.
That's fine.
Flick your forehead.
It's just an excuse to hate you.
Yeah.
And then there's the one that's
Maybe
like
Chicago.
Any relation
yeah,
to
it's like it's like the worst tasting like liquor or something because it's like
That's Jaeger.
No, 'cause
I
it's-
love
I've never had
because
that.
what is it?
You like
Is it
licorice?
I tried Malort for the first time.
Malort?
Malort.
Oh, that's what it
was.
Malort because
Yeah,
that's
it's really
like
fucking bad.
98%.
It's-
Like
It's not even strong,
has, like, an-
honestly.
it's just like
gross.
really
wax
nasty, but they make
taste.
it
Ew.
in Chicago apparently.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a Chicago thing to like
Oh, yeah, we shouldn't
to
be
have a
proud.
shot of Malort.
Right?
That's what we're known for is Malort.
That's
It's
nasty.
a shitty tasting.
Alan,
alcohol.
It's like 100%.
What would you have done if once he pulls out the little strainer, he brings out a whole pot of like boiling spaghetti, and it's just
so gross.
and what he pours into your drink is just boiled spaghetti water.
I probably just would have walked out.
Even after paying for it.
You don't like spaghetti water?
I don't like spaghetti at all.
You don't-
Oh, like whenever my mom made spaghetti, I would tell her just to make the noodles on the side and I'd put salt on it. That's it.
Mom, do you want me to run away? Is that what you want?
I don't like the
That we all
sauce.
had
said-
like an audible reaction except for Eric.
Because he
said-
knows.
Oh,
Right.
mom.
He saw.
I wish we knew this before we invited him out to the
You
show.
let him live like this?
Because sometimes
Before we made him a permanent
I'll
member.
eat
Right.
I'll eat either just noodles with cheese like Parmesan.
I've seen this guy eat the
Don't
maruchan, the brick noodles, with no type of preparation at all. He puts
Just
some
the-
lime.
just the brick?
Oh, that's
in
what I did.
elementary
I've
school,
done
I
that.
saw like
Have you
kids would
seen-
just break it up and pour the seasoning in.
You
like
gave
it
me
was
one. I
chips.
did that here.
Have you seen your own brother eat it whole?
Yeah,
while
I did
it's
that.
still
I
raw?
did that here. Yeah, I've done that before.
I saw him slurp wings off the bone before.
Nice.
I've seen
I
Eric
think you've talked about that.
Got that
just
slurp.
Eric. If there's nothing else, or you know what, even if there's other stuff, I've seen Eric just grab a piece of bread, put mayonnaise on it,
There's nothing wrong with that.
and then put another piece of bread and
wait.
make a mayonnaise sandwich.
I have heard of people doing that. I still frown like upon it because
No, the only weird thing that I ever ate that I thought, well, that people thought was weird is I would take like the bolillos, especially when they were
And
fresh,
juice.
like from fucking Jewel.
Yeah.
A couple days, it's super fresh, and I'll dunk it in some orange juice, and
Yeah.
I'll just eat the bread. That's
That's
good
like
as hell.
dipping like Doritos in Coke or Sprite.
Wait, you do that?
I used to eat Maria cookies, like that sleeve of cookies.
Who's
I wouldn't.
cookie?
the Maria.
You were eating whose cookie?
Yeah, and I wouldn't dip it into Coke, but I would eat it and then take a sip of Coke.
Going off
That's
the same
way different
place.
though. That's way different.
Where does the bump of Coke go? You know that.
Throws up right away.
It takes a bite.
Ivan, did you see that video? I showed these guys yesterday. This guy was trying to when people post up on Snapchat lip syncing.
No, I think he was
like
there.
TikToks?
TikToks.
Anyway, the point is this guy took a bump of Coke off his car keys and immediately threw up.
He was trying to look cool. And I was like,
How do you throw up though?
he
Like
took
this.
it and he...
If you overdo it, you get a little nauseous.
Oh.
So
Yeah, but
little
he
nauseous.
did it.
A little nauseous.
I don't understand why he
Extremely
thought
nauseous.
like a TikTok of him doing coke was going to be cool anyway. So like,
Yeah.
it made it a lot better that he threw up.
yeah, I would never
Can you
record
imagine?
myself doing that.
Yeah, why would you do that?
You go to the school nurse. You're like, my tummy hurts. I
My
did too much.
tummy hurt.
One of my
Why?
favorite
My
videos
stomach hurt.
I did too big.
is it's a very clearly you can tell that these are like cartel guys, and he has literally half his face is just covered in Coke. And that one nostril is just covered, and then the other one's clean. And they're like, "Why don't you do the other one?" He's like, "I'm saving this one for Christmas."
Oh God. What the
Moderation, baby. That's how you do it.
yeah.
Jam, you also follow a bunch of Hispanics on TikTok
I was right there.
where they sing along to songs.
Why does he look like Dustin from Stranger Things? He throws up.
Oh god.
It's just, I
That's
don't know.
funny as
That's
hell.
weird. It's so
That's
weird.
fucking funny.
Anyways,
What a
how
good
about some news stories? It's kind of weird.
All right, so what we normally do, guys, on this Spit Bucket is we do some funny news stories from around the world. But I'm not over the fact that we're still in spooky season. So I'm going to hit a little bit of that spooky bucket theme.
I see you with phones, hold on.
A spiral in the sky around a bright light.
So this is going to be a little bit of a half and half episode. Mostly just because I have this one spooky story that I wanted to read last week if you didn't listen to our Halloween episode.
But that one was almost 2 hours.
But it was almost 2 hours, so I didn't want to keep going. The Conjuring House's new owners say it's still haunted.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be? What?
They said it's been a while. Maybe the ghost got bored and left.
If no one's in a house, is it still haunted? Is shit still moving around?
They're trying to spook people, and they're like, "Oh, nobody's there."
Yeah.
Damn.
They're like a dog.
Yeah.
When the mailman comes, they start all going to the window hoping someone walks in so they can scare the shit out of them.
You think ghosts get lonely?
Yeah, do they?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Maybe.
Right. It's just they just want attention. That's all. That's the best form of attention to get because they're constantly going to be thinking about you if they're scared of you.
Is that what every person who works at a haunted house, they're just lonely?
Right.
So they want
They just want
any
attention.
Big
Yeah.
brain. I got a big brain, guys.
First of all, have you guys watched The Conjuring?
Yes, I
Yeah.
love it.
I don't know what I've seen. I've seen something related to that.
Hold on.
I don't know if I saw the
apart.
second one.
I'm not a big scary movie, guys. Is this is the one where
in a house.
they had a room dedicated to all that spooky stuff, or is that a
Yeah.
different one?
That's the people who who try to help them.
Yeah, they're like the people who
They
travel
own-
across
yeah,
country,
that's in,
trying to collect and
That's
remove all your spooky
in
stuff.
Indiana.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's not too far.
So
because I remember we went to Pennsylvania. Oh
That's
no,
where
it's in Ohio.
where
It's
they
in
had
Ohio.
Annabelle.
It's in Ohio. Is
Where they-
where it is because I remember
That museum?
Yeah,
Ohio.
well, it's the house.
It's someone's house, but
it's
it
a
has
museum.
yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when I drove all the way to Pennsylvania, and then we went all the way back and then stayed in Ohio. We went back home, and then an article came up about how the place where all the stuff is at is now an open house, you can go in.
Oh, that's cool.
And they said it was in Ohio. I was like, damn.
You didn't go?
No, because we drove continuously all the way to Pennsylvania, and I didn't like it, so we drove back right away. And then we stayed in Ohio for one night and then drove back. And I was like, damn, we should just went to Ohio and stayed there for 2 days.
Damn. So
No.
you just made that drive for nothing? You
Yeah.
just made a long
We
drive.
can make that a weekend trip if you guys want to do that.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
Ohio.
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, it's only
I've been
5
to,
hours. So, yeah.
Cleveland?
Before or
LeBron.
after LeBron?
I was there.
This was what,
I
like
was
in
there
high school,
I was
so-
there before,
Oh.
so there was just
During?
a big mural
No.
of LeBron, but that's probably torn down now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now it's got a
Probably
Chinese
the
flag on it
Yeah.
instead. All right, so the Rhode Island house
Anyway.
from The Conjuring traded hands earlier this year, and the new owners, Corey and Jennifer Heinzen, they've witnessed bizarre occasions that show that there are still paranormal activity happening in the house. Just 2 months after buying the real-life haunted house that inspired the hit movie The Conjuring, the new owners say that they've witnessed unexplained paranormal activity. Corey and Jennifer Heinzen, who bought the historic farmhouse in Rhode Island in June, told local news that weird occurrences have been cropping up.
Cropping up or popping up?
Cropped up.
That doesn't make sense. Because cropping is to take away.
Well, maybe the ghosts are crop dusting them.
Yeah.
Damn.
Have you guys had like battery acid smelling farts? You know what I'm talking
No.
about?
Have you
What?
guys had like 3-day-old egg farts?
Yeah.
I have.
That I have.
I've
Those
had
are-
battery acid vomit before. That was kind of yeah.
Do you think if you fart that nasty, it can scare ghosts away from you? Like,
I think so.
Create a nice little
What
barrier.
if you farted so bad a ghost threw up? You just see vomit coming out of thin air.
They're coming up from behind you to scare you.
And you fart.
So they said that footsteps, knocks. We've had lights flashing in rooms, Corey said. And when I say lights flashing in rooms, it's rooms that don't have lights in them to begin with.
What the fuck?
They're creating their own light.
Wait, in the movie, whose house was it before?
I
So-
haven't seen the movie,
Well,
so I
Wasn't
can't
it
say.
the? Wasn't
It's just
it
like
the
a family.
Amityville horror house?
No, I think this is the one where
That's Insidious.
they have it's the brother and the sister, the mom and the dad, and then their cousin comes to visit, but he's afraid of ventriloquist dummies. And then after a while of them like scaring the cousin,
Shut that. Are you talking about Goosebumps right
You
now?
had me for literally a second. I was like, "There's a cousin in the movie." I'm like,
Wait.
and the cousin is Anakin Skywalker.
They found the family like
His name is
hung on the
Zane.
tree in the backyard or something.
No, that's Sinister. Sinister, there's the same thing where like that guy buys the house and like someone got hung in the back.
Yeah, I actually don't even know the
But-
history of this. Maybe it'll jump into it.
Yeah, you can keep talking. I'm just gonna see what this says. But
So he also told the Sun Journal, a publication based in Maine, where they live now, that they have experienced doors opening on their own. He added that he had a hard time staying in the house alone. I don't have a feeling of anything evil, but it's very busy. You can tell there's a lot of things going on in the house. The Hines, who said that they work as paranormal investigators, admitted that they are scared given the family from before that the Conjuring movie was based on, said that the supposed spirits were playful at first, but then they turned sinister, attacking the family, lifting their beds, causing mystery illnesses, and more.
Oh,
okay, look, sorry to cut you off again. Yeah, this says that real life reports inspired the Amityville.
Anemoneville.
you gotta imagine there's
It
like a
just
listener
inspired
who's
itself.
super into
Yeah.
movies and he's getting really pissed off right
Yeah,
now.
right.
I don't know, because I like those movies, but I swear there was one where like turns out like the person haunting the house was the one who killed the family from that movie.
You're not thinking of Paranormal Activity?
No, it's like a movie where like the dad like goes crazy, so he kills like the kids in their sleep and the wife and kills himself. Like that's what I thought.
Isn't that Annabelle?
There's a paranormal cinematic universe, and then there's the real life shit like this.
So how does this movie? How does Insidious connect to Star Wars then?
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul's
Yeah.
the bad guy in Insidious.
Yeah.
Darth
Maybe they're
Sidious.
having a Force dream.
It's all a force dream.
Okay.
So the couple had set up 12 cameras recording video 24/7 inside the house in what Corey called research for a potential future documentary that they are announcing that's supposed to be in Travel Channel. So they bought the house so they could make a documentary to sell to Travel Channel.
God damn it.
I mean, I'd watch it.
I guess.
Depends on like the content of it.
It'd be fun to watch the real Conjuring House.
Also, I just want to say I didn't really enjoy Conjuring that much. I didn't think it was bad, but
I can't tell any of those movies apart.
I
So
didn't-
to me, it's
I
one
don't know.
long ass movie.
They all munch kind of together. It's like a
Yeah.
timeline, isn't it? Kind of.
something like that. Also, I want to mention apparently the Warren couple apparently they were kind of shitty in real life, like money grabbing, like clearly faking all this shit, and they don't like believe in any of it. But I just hate that in the movies they're painted as like saints who are like, we have to help these families.
Yeah,
In
every
real life,
single
they're
movie.
just a couple like money hungry people.
Who clearly couldn't solve the mystery because the house is still haunted.
Right.
That was pretty much it. They had the opportunity to buy this house from the family who lived there before, and they were paranormal investigators, so they decided to.
And they said, let's make a fucking
Eric, as
TV
someone
show.
who is spooked, how much for you to spend a night there by yourself at the Amityville Horror House?
Or the Conjuring House.
Why do you expect I'm spooked by that?
Because you were scared at Goosebumps last night.
No,
Don't
I
pretend
was,
like you
I was
weren't.
mad because you wouldn't tell me what episode we were watching.
Part of the fun.
The Conjuring House is real and still haunted.
Love that.
All right, let's move to our next story.
I have a not so spooky story.
Of it?
Spoopy.
More of a, how far are you willing to go for money?
Very, very, very far.
Well, how far?
How much money?
Yeah. How much money?
It doesn't matter.
Well,
We
here
all
go.
have a price.
Here we
all
go.
do.
A naturist couple is asking for people to serve food and drinks naked at their all-nude wedding.
I do it. Nobody wanted to,
Yeah.
want me to do that, but I
So
do
a good chunk of the article is just like who these people are and like what naturist is. It's nudist, just a dumb
They're
word
just-
for nudist. So I'm gonna start it off
It's
here.
like vegans who want to just be called plant-based. Go fuck yourself, you're vegans.
The ad that they
vegans.
posted made it clear that they were pretty desperate for help. We've been let down a lot by 3 sets of people so far, and the last ones initially agreeing and then, as the day nears, pulling out last minute.
Ha!
It's an incredibly
But
stressful
it's-
situation that all we want for a wedding is to be 100% authentic.
Ivan, you would get turned back if you show up. You're like, I'm gonna be the naked boy here.
Don't like, oh, we're good.
But that's all it is.
Are you
just-
allowed to? You
just
said you're not that
serving food?
hairy, right?
No,
Oh,
really.
here, hold on. They obviously knew it'd be high-key hard to find people who were actually willing to serve drinks and food in their birthday suits at the formal event, but the pair seemed insistent on doing it either way. We previously considered having clothed staff, but we do not feel comfortable with the presence of clothed people.
We don't feel comfortable with the presence of clothes people.
So
How's a mall trip for them?
I don't know. So why would we want to feel uncomfortable in the most special day of our lives? So if you want to lend a hand and or naked bod to these lovebirds, respond to their ad. Did I mention the gig pays $38 an hour and you'll only be serving 30 people? Why not make that bread and witness the magic of a loving unity and feel super free?
So how many hours is a wedding usually? Like if you're
Usually,
serving a
In
wedding?
another
6 or
article,
more.
it was going to be an 8-hour thing.
Let's do the math.
8-hour thing? Okay, so 8
Because
times
you're going to
what?
be the only servers and the only like bar staff.
How much were they paying an hour?
Plus tips?
$38 an hour.
38
So
times
it's
8.
$304.
For one night?
That's not that. That's not good enough for me to do
I was
that.
gonna say I
300
think
bucks a night.
for me
That's
to
enough
be
for me to say
naked.
yeah.
Nah.
Okay, well, let's go around. For an 8-hour shift, how much would you ask for to be naked serving drinks and
Like 50
cocktails?
an hour.
You want 50 an hour?
It's very embarrassing for me. So,
Ivan, how many people have seen you naked other than me?
you,
My mom.
my mom, no, my mom.
My mom, my pop, Joey.
That's it. That's about it. It's 4 people.
Does it count if you could just wear socks? But like,
The thing
Yeah,
is,
but you bring
Organs,
3
but-
socks.
that's the thing is that if you're going to be working in a kitchen, shouldn't you have like kitchen shoes? Also, gloves to handle
Right.
food. Are you not allowed to wear gloves?
Well, I went to food safety class, as you guys know, because I was a restaurant manager.
Why are you so gross with food then?
It's because I cook with my mouth.
Oh, okay.
My mouth is my own oven. But gloves actually don't even. As long as your hands are clean, you don't need gloves. That's just
Spoken like a true disgusting person.
okay, but
That's just some
think
pussy
about it,
shit.
Your fucking cock and balls are going to be out.
my cock and balls
Cock
are
and
the
balls.
cleanest thing on my body. I wash those thoroughly.
At least once a week.
So you said 50 an hour for you.
Yeah.
What about you, Jam? What's your payday for an 8-hour naked shift?
$90 an hour.
90. So you want like $1,000 almost.
Damn, mine's only
My body is
$400.
my temple.
What about you?
Actually,
Stephanie?
I'm more on that.
Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with Jam here.
$1,000.
It takes like a lot to have to be
Yeah.
naked for that long.
Yeah.
Because 8 hours is a long
I
shift.
gotta
already.
easily.
I gotta be kind of fricked up to do it though.
Spilling the drinks everywhere.
Confidence.
What about you, Eric? How much do I have to pay you for you to sit in my room? You be my like naked maid,
Footrest. Oh.
Oh.
That's it.
or you just hang out in my room naked. How much do I have to pay you?
I don't think it. Well, so for wait, what was it? 8 hours?
8 hours at 38 an hour. So like,
would be your
I
rate?
think instead because you guys did the math. And what was it? 304.
yeah.
I think instead of that, instead of getting paid by the hour, I'd probably just ask for a certain amount, and I think it'd probably either be like 1,000 or 2,000. Just give me like this, and then even if they need me to stay longer, like it's just that set amount they have to pay me.
What if you got to
these are
clean
good.
up afterwards?
That's not what they paid me. They paid me to serve drinks or serve food. They didn't say anything about cleaning up. So
true.
I mean, yeah, I'd just be like, just give me like
Yeah, a good
1,500.
stack.
I'm fine with that.
1,500.
Yeah, so 1,500. So not like I
I'm
wouldn't
glad
want to
we
get
all
paid by
value
the
our
hour.
bodies.
So you guys are more confident in your
'Cause-
body
so
and
see,
serving
here's
abilities
what's the
than
thing.
Eric.
Like, this is the thing, though. They give me a set amount, and I get hurt. I can go home, and I still got all the money. If I get paid by
look
the
at-
hour, and I'm only there for less than an hour, I don't even get that 30.
And we know you don't have those
38 bucks.
non-slip shoes,
The
so
thing
just go
is,
to the
though,
kitchen and.
In the article, it does say that they're kind of like in their mid to late 30s, so it is probably going to be like older people. So we got our nice young tight bodies,
I mean,
Speak
I'm
for
not-
yourself.
Yeah.
as opposed to these saggy grannies.
These saggy daddies.
I am
Late
saying-
30s is not grannies, though.
If you're British, yeah.
That's true. Yeah, they're closer
They're
to
British.
Jupiter.
Yeah, and they age fast.
What about you,
Well, people
Alan?
don't age that well.
How confident are you in your naked
All right,
body?
let's see. If I'm gonna do a wedding for random people, 30 people max, no type of video photographer. Realistically, I'd do it for about 500. If it was for somebody I knew, guests that I knew, people that will recognize
Probably
me,
more. Well, for sure.
about 3,000 or 4,000. So let's just say like Omar, if you're not gonna do it, but
Well,
if you ever get married,
you don't think so, huh?
He said, "Let's fake stuff here. Let's say if you ever get married,
Hypothetically.
hypothetically,
let's just start making up
Well,
shit."
no one-
you asked me to be a server, but like naked, honestly, it'd be about like 4,000 or 5,000. Just because I know you guys way too much.
Yo, okay, but you can't wear your glasses though, because that's not naked.
And I know how much you would enjoy it, so you have to charge him more because of how much you would enjoy it.
Actually, now that I think about it, when you say it like that, you could do it for less because also if you're serving drinks and or giving food, you're technically still behind something.
Would you?
So unless someone was like, "Hey, what you packing down there?" and like looks over the counter, you're naked, but like they,
Well, no, because you'll be walking
Yeah.
What if you're
around.
serving like a hot chili?
is this like
and
a
it splatters on you?
Yeah, is this like a waiter
Yeah,
thing?
that's what it's serving.
servers and
Yeah,
drinks.
dude.
So there's probably a bartender, and you're the one
I
taking
thought
the
you were
drinks
like
around.
the one like cooking, and you're just like, oh, I can just
No,
stand
that's a
behind.
chef.
Yeah.
No.
You're just
No.
taking the
It's a
food from the
server.
kitchen out to the tables. And then handing out like cocktail weenies.
You're holding weenies over your weenies.
Weenie.
Yeah. You should just put your weenie in the tray with the rest of the weenies.
Put a toothpick in it.
Not this one.
Yeah, someone's gonna be like, oh, and like try to touch it. Like, what's going on?
What's going on in here?
But that's the big what if they're gonna be having someone filming the wedding. Then
It didn't specify
Yeah.
if there was.
yeah,
Actually,
but you gotta imagine they
technically what you could do if they don't make you sign a contract, you just can tell them like, I don't want to be shown on film, so they can't put any part with you in it.
are. They can put me.
They have
Blur your
to. They
face
have to
out,
keep.
though.
They have to keep avoiding him, like to get everything.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind it. They can keep my face in there, but they would have to blur my stuff out.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
So realistically, you have the lowest price out of everyone. So if you guys want to hire Alan of the Spit Bucket
Well,
to
worth
be
the
a
money.
You're gonna get a
naked
bunch of
waiter,
emails.
yeah,
No, I think I'm gonna get a bunch of dudes. Nothing wrong with that, but yeah.
Still
pretty
waiting for
hot.
ball picks.
still wait. Our mailbox is wide open for pictures of your balls at the Spit Bucket Pod
All right.
at gmail.com. Send us a picture of your nuts. We'll decide who's going to
Give
be
you
the
some
waiter.
bucks.
We'll see who's going to be the waiter at our wedding.
Nice.
Once we get back together.
Also,
We're still broken up.
We're still lying here.
Let's move to our next story.
All right, so Californian RoboCop had to deal with its first crime, and it didn't go too well. This robot kind of looks like a mixture of Wall-E and I guess the robot from fucking Wall-E. So I don't know.
So Wall-E.
So I'll show you guys a photo. It kind of just looks like a pod on wheels.
It looks like Eve. Or Eve.
Evie, yeah, but just on wheels.
Eva.
Oh, okay. When you first said that, I was imagining, the people who dress up on like the Hollywood Walk as different characters, and you have to pay to take pictures with them. I thought that someone was dressed as RoboCop, and then a crime happened by them.
No, this is
That'd be
a
funny.
I was imagining, that robot that Finn made?
Nepter.
Yeah,
Nepter.
that's what I was
Never-ending
imagining.
pie throwing robot.
Yes.
And he fucking was terrible at it.
Never-ending pie.
You know that Andy Milonakis voiced him?
Really?
Yeah, Nepter.
Nepter.
Nepter. It's voiced by Andy Milonakis.
I love that.
Isn't he like 50?
He might as well
Yeah,
be.
he is. He's
Pretty
old.
much.
And then he looks like he's 12.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so this is by James Felton on ifuckinglovescience.com. Picture a world where police robots roam the streets dealing with crime, and I can pretty much guarantee you'll think of a nightmarish, all-powerful police state where everything has gone horribly wrong.
I was gonna say that sounds like China. I'm trying to get us banned in China.
That'd be cool.
Honestly, me too. Literally.
So
Yeah.
you guys had to
No.
avoid it every time you go.
Oh shit! That's probably not. We love you, China. Thank you
Nah,
for
fuck that.
your money.
Fuck that.
Just kidding.
Your airports don't make any sense.
They don't.
Right. Also, I'm standing with PewDiePie. I was going to say something else, but I don't want to take a
I have nothing bad to say about China. All right, anyway.
All right, LeBron.
Alan Mendoza, the LeBron James of the Spit Bucket.
He was missing
He could do layups and take Chinese money.
Yeah.
But it turns out robot police are already here, and it's nothing like either of those options. They just don't really give a shit about citizens. For those of you who missed it, earlier this week, Huntington Park, California, added a new police officer to its squad. A robot, actually, named RoboCop.
I think
that
I
might
know,
be.
I think
They
I
couldn't think of
know
a better
what
name.
this article is about,
Right.
and I'm trying to remember, but like
Cyberpig or something?
At the time of its unveiling, the city and police were optimistic that the RoboCop would be a real asset to the force, and with time become a hardened cop that stops nothing to get the job done.
Is it an AI bot that's going to learn to
I don't know if it's
Not see
AI.
people as people.
Or
That's
if it's
literally
just a
how
drone.
you start like a robot takeover,
Right?
When they learn how to like stop at nothing to stop a criminal.
Who's
So
gonna
if they
police
see
the
all
police
humans
bots?
right? If they see all humans as threats, they're like, well, we're just gonna kill all of you.
Yeah.
All right,
Only
so-
humans are committing crimes, so we have to get rid of the
Right.
humans.
That's wild.
RoboCop began patrolling on public areas in its unrelenting search for crime. Recently, RoboCop was finally put into the test when a fight broke out in a parking lot of the Salt Lake Park downtown Los Angeles.
And they're just blowing up both of the people.
Yeah, I was gonna say what we were watching Goosebumps yesterday, and we were saying how easy Slappy would have been to take down. I wonder how easy it would
Those
be to take
kids
down.
tied his legs in a knot.
And gagged him.
That's true.
Yep.
Kinky as fuck. Lots of predators actually in Goosebumps.
There are.
More than I remember.
There was that girl who was trying to like buy the mask, and she was completely ignoring all the pedophile,
hints.
all the
Mary
hints.
Beth?
Yeah, Mary Beth,
Carly Beth.
Carly Beth. I tried to think of the way we said Elizabeth yesterday. I can't remember.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth?
Eliza Beth.
Gross.
Anyways, a witness, Kogo Gubara, saw the fight and immediately approached the robot with the police written across it in massive letters asking for help. When she pressed the robot's emergency alert button, she was expecting it to call the cops for help, but it did not. Instead, it told her to get out of the way. Very efficient. I love that.
Move,
Out of the way.
Okay, she said, quote, I was pushing the button, but it kept saying step out of the way, end quote. Gubara told NBC News, it just kept ringing and ringing. I kept pushing and pushing. While other witnesses called the cops the old-fashioned way, RoboCop arrived on its pre-programmed patrol route, occasionally stopped to tell people keep the park clean. Meanwhile, a woman involved in the fight was being carried into the ambulance with a cut on her head sustained during the accident. From what I'm understanding, it didn't do anything.
It just made loud
It just
noises.
said, get out of the way. You're,
Get out of
you're
the
in
way.
my patrol route.
I love. Can it tell where that a person's a person, or is it just like seeing shadows, or like what is what?
Probably just
Honestly,
like
I don't
Probably like a Roomba, honestly.
A Roomba with guns on it or something.
I don't think
Yeah.
it has guns. I think it's just.
Is it aware that people are around it?
Probably not. I don't know if there's any AI that can detect humans specifically.
So apparently, there's no way the robot is even connected to the police. It's just meant to call them, and it's more of like a project by the company Nightscope, which, if you guys remember earlier this year in October, one of its first prototypes was a security bot, and it committed suicide.
Oh, and
You
it
guys
fell
remember
in
that?
the water.
Said, I hate this.
So this is
world."
from the same company, so I'm not really sure what they're expecting. But
It committed suicide.
yeah,
Being a cop's a hard job.
Even RoboCops are not immune from suicide. That's fucked
Right.
up. My
Let's
main problem is
Run a charity 5K for this robot.
you make the world's first robotic cop and you just call it RoboCop. Like you have a chance to actually name
very
it something.
stereotypical.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Call it Scary Terry.
Right.
That's probably the best
It'll
case
scare the
scenario because
terrorists.
as far as naming something, there's been companies that put it into like the people's hands, and they'll be like, "Hey, what would you want?" Because there was a boat,
Oh, you know Mountain Dew?
Bodie McBoatface.
Bodie McBoatface.
They put the
Or like
name.
Mountain Dew, right? What was it?
It was like Hitler's something.
Yeah, Hitler didn't do Hitler.
Nothing wrong was called.
Yeah, Hitler did nothing wrong is what they wanted.
Yeah,
to
they're like,
rename
all
the
right,
new
Baja
flavor.
Blast it is.
So honestly, if it was my creation and I had the choice to like be completely unoriginal or put it in the hands of the people, I wouldn't.
Well, even the
You'd be
company could have
unoriginal.
just called it like fucking Chappie or
Moby
something.
Patrolly.
Yeah,
Nice.
Patrol Bot would have been better.
Patrol bot,
Would
yeah.
have been
Literally,
better than RoboCop.
anything would have been better than RoboCop.
Honestly, I want to hear what the listeners feel. What would you name this robot?
Bodie McBoatface.
Or if you had a chance to rename this podcast, what would you name this? Call it The Jam Show and nothing else.
If you were going to hire one of us to be the naked waiter at your wedding, which one would you hire? The only right answer is Ivan Prado.
Yes, I was gonna say that as well.
Anyways, that pretty much concludes my story.
If,
Thank you, everybody.
That's kind of cool though. I didn't know they
Thank
had robot cops walking around.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
If
rolling
that-
around, but
Oh, rolling
they're
around.
not too useful, apparently.
Yeah.
Damn.
All they can do is tell people to get out of the way,
Get the fuck out of my face.
clean the park. If Alex was going to be a naked waiter, would they make him take off his
His pump,
His
his fanny
pump.
pack.
his fanny pack? Yeah.
No, I think they'd have to be like willing to let that happen. Not have that.
Do glasses count?
No, it counts as accessories, not clothing.
So you can wear. So I can bring
So
a
you
big
could-
fucking
you could-
chain.
guess-
You could literally
I feel
wear.
like that
you
would
could
count
wear.
then.
You could wear a hat and like glasses because that doesn't count as clothes. It counts as accessories.
So shoes.
Shoes are.
So you can wear-
shoes. That's why they call it shoes.
So I can wear shoes, my watch, and a hat.
And a
and
belt.
glasses. Yeah, belts.
And a necklace, I guess.
necklace, belt.
What about my wallet? Where am I supposed to put my wallet?
Up your cheeks.
Clench it for the whole 8 hours.
Yeah.
Just don't bring
While
it.
you're serving macaroons. And our next story.
All right. Deputies tell Florida man, stop calling 911 about your stolen weed.
Is Florida one of the states where weed's legal?
No.
I don't
Nope.
think so.
No?
Nope.
That's kind of surprising.
They have stupid rules on top of being like full of fucking weird people. Like, their laws are also shitty. Anyways, the Pasco County Sheriff's Office tried to turn the man's errors into a teachable moment on Twitter. So they kind of roasted him, I guess.
Goofed on him on Twitter.
Authorities say a Florida man repeatedly called 911 to report that his roommate had stolen his marijuana. A deputy for the Pasco County Sheriff's Office posted a Twitter response to the man's call Saturday night. Stop calling. He said, stop bullying. The cop said, attention everyone. I can't do it. Anyway.
Stop stealing your roommate's weed.
So the deputy said in a Twitter video that he called the man back to tell him to quit contacting the sheriff's office about his stolen marijuana. He recorded the video as part of the agency's tweet-along program, which allows viewers to get a behind-the-scenes look at the police work by the deputies. And then it just says, recreational marijuana use remains illegal in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Although they said no charges were filed against the caller. I guess they were just like, this dude is so fucking dumb. Like, let's just not do anything about it.
Let's tell everyone how dumb he is.
Right. And then they posted a video of him, like, the deputy. I think this is when he got the call. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can play it real quick.
Pasco County is one of the ones from Life PD.
Uh-huh.
Guy's calling in saying his roommate stole his weed. $20 worth, and he's upset.
$20.
$20 worth of weed?
Give him a
Jeez.
call. Tell him to stop calling. That's his weed.
For $20 worth of weed. That's funny. Has anyone had anything like that happen to them? Their roommate steal something?
My weed, yeah.
If
My
you
roommate
consider
was my
your
mom.
roommates your sisters, then I have many things stolen from me.
My brother actually would steal, like, absolutely everything I have.
Yeah, didn't you have a whole week where you're like, he stole my hat, he stole my sweater, he sweated and everything.
Didn't he take your sweater and then he came back from a run and it was drenched in sweat?
Boy. So it was a sweater. So I have, like, I don't really wear zip-up hoodies too much anymore, but at some point I had, like, a newer one that'd wear out, right? Then I had, like, 2 or 3 old ones. So he grabbed one of my fucking newer ones, went for a fucking jog, came back soaked as fuck. And I'm like, hey, is that my sweater? He's like, yeah, it was just sitting on the couch, so I thought it was an old one. I'm like, why the fuck didn't you ask me in the first place, even if it was an old one? Dude, fucking, the whole thing was soaked.
Doesn't he have a thing, though, even where if he just sits, he sweats?
I mean, yeah.
Hyperhidrosis?
Yeah, he's a sweaty boy. It doesn't help that he's also kind of a thick ninja, like he likes to call himself.
And then went for a run on top of everything.
Yeah, in the heat. So he was just picture how soaked he was.
I remember stealing my sister's weed.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'm like,
Sick.
this is illegal. I will not tolerate this. I took her weed.
Officer Jan.
I buried it in the backyard.
And then a whole weed plant grew in the backyard because they gave her all seeds.
I found a pair of my socks, some condoms, and a weed.
Did you bury the
And a
condoms,
weed,
too?
one whole
No, I
marijuana.
didn't know what they were at the time, but I'm like, I don't think this is good. I'm
How
not
old
gonna touch
was
this.
your sister when you found this?
She was maybe 17, 18, and I was like 10 or 11. But I'm like, I don't want this here, but I'm not going to get her in trouble, so I'm just going to bury it. Because she's not going to be like, hey, where's my weed, you know?
We talked about, because you guys weren't on the same podcast when this happened, going back to Eric's porn brick. I
Nice.
asked Alan off mic if he ever found or knew about Eric's porn brick, and he said he didn't know until he listened to that episode.
So now he knows. Eric just said,
Stephanie, did you know about Eric's porn brick?
I was aware.
You were aware?
nice.
He told me.
I'm glad he told you. That's great.
Is there any bricks by his apartment that just look like they don't
there's a
belong
whole
there?
wall.
Oh, that's right.
He has a
whole
porn
alley.
wall now.
He's got an alley.
He goes in there in the middle of the night, like fucking,
There's a bench
like
there.
warthogs, Hogwarts, and he like taps the bricks. A
He
certain way.
goes, beep, beep, boop.
And one just opens.
And one sheet
then
comes
it's like
out,
a
and he's
fucking-
like, nice.
He goes, nice. Puts it back.
Love that.
So anyways, more things that Joey would steal. The main thing that pissed me off, steal my fucking deodorant.
Ew.
And put it back. So it's not even like he takes it and then like it's his. That I'd like that more than him using it and putting it back on my dresser.
And let me guess, the only way you found out is because there was hair on it.
Yes. Because when I would use it, there would be like a strand of hair, and I'd like grab a little piece of tissue and like.
It's your own hair.
I don't know, just because I don't want to get the deodorant on my fingers either. So I'm just like, let me just
can wash
wipe it
it.
off or something. You know what I mean? Like,
But your hand still feels like.
right.
That's the whole purpose of deodorant, to repel. Like,
Yeah, that way you don't get sweaty fingers.
So basically,
Spider-Man.
I would
The
get
point is
hair.
you made a point to take the hair off.
Right, so I'm like, oh, there's hair, let me take it off. So he just grabs it, uses it on his bare body, puts it down. I'm like, oh, there's hairs on my fucking deodorant. Joey uses it. Every time he does it, I literally grab it, walk over to his room, and
throw it at him.
I put it on his dresser. I'm like, that's yours now. Because I always buy like packs of 2, so I'm like, well, you're just going to fucking have that one.
And then he uses your new one.
He does it on purpose, too, sometimes, I bet. He's like,
I'm out
I
of
need a
steak.
deodorant.
right.
I think they might need deodorant. I'm about to run out.
This man's a
He
whole
just
ass adult.
he takes the hair out of his armpit, puts it on. Like, doesn't even use it, but just so
I mean, he could be. That's smart, actually. That's probably
I don't
what
think
he's
me and Eric have ever done anything that bad.
You guys
I
have
mean,
never taken anything from each other?
Well, I mean clothing, but it's not like I made. No, I think there was one time I purposely like snuck into his room and grabbed the shirt that I wanted to wear, but that's about it. But not that he's never done that before either. So.
Yeah, me and my
You guys are
sister
like
were
the same
never
size, right?
were never like that. Where we'd be like, "Oh, well, don't touch my shit."
Yeah,
it was kind of like an
shared
open,
a lot with my sister.
open door policy as long as you
It's
gave
not
it
even.
back.
It's
Like,
not even that. All I didn't want him to do was take stuff that I actually wear all the time, like my sweaters,
And sweating it.
and use my fucking deodorant.
You know what? The only thing I can think
It was a
of that I
very
took
low bar.
was your face shaver. And now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't have touched that.
Probably.
Yeah.
He said probably.
I
mean, I dusted it up.
Facial hair, you probably shouldn't grab
Yeah,
it.
I'm like, what? He's like, why does he have this trimmer if he has all his facial hair?
I wouldn't use it. I don't use it for that.
Let me just put it on my face.
Oh
Yikes.
damn! you fucking punked yourself, dude.
Honestly, me and Eric are kind of close like that. That doesn't bother me too much.
I love that.
You ever get your brother's pubes on your face?
Yeah.
He gets your pubes on your deodorant.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not his armpit hairs.
I'm getting triggered now thinking about that. Gross.
That's nasty.
That is pretty nasty.
Yeah, I just share toothbrushes with people. Whenever I go to anyone else's house and I see someone's toothbrush, I'm like, oh, let me clean up.
He goes,
Let me freshen it up.
let me
You just
freshen
chew
up.
on it. You just put it in your mouth and chew on it.
It's like, oh, are these for everybody?
There was that one time though where you found your toothbrush in your sister's bag.
No. So I had a new toothbrush. I used it one time, and then I put it in like the mirror or whatever, and then she thought it was hers. So she started using it, and then I saw her brushing her teeth with it. I'm like, why are you brushing your teeth with my toothbrush? She's like, this is yours?
Nasty.
funny.
And so that morning I had to go to Target and buy myself a new toothbrush.
Fortunate.
That's why I use the
Yeah.
electric one.
So I'm
'cause
like,
nobody can mistake.
hello,
Mine.
where are your toothbrushes?
He's like, hello.
Even then, I always made a point to keep mine in like the travel tube. Like I dry it off completely, put it in the tube, put it somewhere away from the rest of the family toothbrushes. Because you know how if you put them in like the little cup or a stand, there's still that water that collects.
Yeah.
The thought of that being just nasty mouth water grosses me out. I'm like, I don't want my toothbrush anywhere near that.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Your girlfriend was looking at you really hard.
That's why I was like, what?
Eric
Toothbrush
has
water.
a cup with his toothbrush in it.
Yeah.
Oh, when I went to your house, why do you have like 6 toothbrushes?
It's gross. I've seen it. I know what you're talking about.
One is mine. Yeah. have
No,
you
I
seen
cleaned
it?
that cup.
Okay.
I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, you need
because I
to
made him
hit.
clean it.
But after a while, that water collects, and that's nasty, dude.
Yeah, I clean it.
But it's not just this cup; it's the whole bathroom. You gotta hit that with some bleach or something, dude.
Wait, I clean that all the time. Why are you guys calling me out on that? I literally clean it all the time. I had those
what the hell?
disinfecting wipes.
I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying someone stared at you really hard when they said
know.
a couple of mouth water.
I'll call you out.
I've never seen your bathroom, so like,
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
didn't go.
Yeah, because you didn't go
didn't
visit
go.
him.
I'm still gonna judge you. It's dirty, dude.
No, it's not. It really
okay.
isn't.
How dirty is your bathroom, Ivan?
It's not that dirty.
His bathroom's
I don't
pretty
believe
clean.
you.
I like.
Well, his new bathroom.
Oh, I like his parents' bathroom. There you go.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I like putting my finger in the faucet.
That's weird.
What?
Because he has like a weird, like it's like a
So
really
it pours,
fancy
yeah,
looking
so it's like
sink.
I don't know how to explain
Think of
it,
like a
but-
bamboo shoot, like if they just chopped it at an angle, so it's just like a
But it's metal.
stream of water. And I put my
I put my
finger
whole
like
mouth
a-
on it when I go to
wait,
wash
like
my
a
hands.
flat
Put
stream?
your mouth underneath
Easy
it.
access.
What do you mean?
You know, like when it comes out like in a
like
flat
a
string.
straw.
But it still like arches down, like gradually.
But the cut
it feels
on the
really
stick
nice.
Yeah.
kind of flattens it out as it comes out.
It's
Okay,
like
that's
relaxing.
cool.
It's a very nice faucet.
It doesn't
It
go.
is.
It doesn't fall downwards if I stick my thumb in it.
And it just goes straight. And it's all wet. It's pretty fun.
That's why you always catch me with a very wet shirt when I come out of your bathroom.
It's just going
First, I peed on my hand. Second, your sink is fun.
Guess which one it is. One of them has pee. Damn.
Let's do one more story before we close this episode.
Oh, okay.
I have a mosquito bite on my thigh from last night. It is mid-October and it was like 40 degrees last night. How the fuck do I?
Might have been a spider.
She doesn't
No,
know
that's
it's
true.
better.
Better not be. Take that back. Say psych right now.
You better don't.
The story is, how do I even start an article? Anyway, so it says, welcome to the most haunted graveyard in the world, safety not guaranteed.
And it's in Zompton, and Alan lives behind it. Ooh.
I think the worst thing about living behind the cemetery is all the kids trick-or-treating just hanging out in the cemetery.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah?
No, I'm just
They're
making a
like them.
Goosebumps reference.
Oh, all the kids dressed as pirates?
Yeah.
Love that.
I'm sorry, go on.
No, I didn't even know. I don't know. I didn't even know what was going on, honestly. So this is in Scotland, apparently. It's in Edinburgh. It says in the city's historic centre, perched on the hill overlooking the new town built in the 1700s. Greyfriars Kirkyard is seemingly idyllic cemetery dating back to the 1560s, but to this day it has enough strange going ons to attract a steady stream of ghost hunters, wizarding fans. What the hell?
Wizarding fans.
It's like the LARPers, yeah.
And the television producers and writers who follow in their wake.
Can you imagine a cemetery full
So
of LARPers?
apparently for
Is it really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a whole club.
Yeah.
Like
A LARPing club
I've
in
seen
Macomb,
them.
Illinois?
They are very committed.
They really are.
I forgot to bring it up, I think. Did I tell you guys about how I walked past Bronies at the Mall of America?
Oh.
And I was shaking.
Like
It was so-
intent, like full-blown bronies?
like it was.
They had like backpacks.
So we were walking. We get to one end where like some of the ends of the mall doesn't have like stores. It's just like a wall or like paintings or stuff like that. So we come to one and we're like following it, and it's just like a group of like a bunch. It's like 30 guys, just like
They're like middle aged.
bunched up.
30
They were just like bunched up over there, and like my first reaction was just like, why is there just like all of these guys standing here?
Uh-huh.
Because I was kind of just like, we're in a busy mall. Like, why would you just stand there?
Yeah.
And we start getting closer, and I see this guy has this thing on his shoulder, and I was like, what the hell is that? And then I look, and it's like a My Little Pony thing, and I like my eyes like open, and I was like,
trembling.
I basically was like, after we walked past him, I was like shaking. I was like, what the hell just happened? It was because I literally, that was the first. I didn't think they were real until that point.
Really? And
So
I saw
I
30
didn't
of them
think they
at
still
once.
existed.
Well, I thought it was just something that like TLC made up. Like
They had,
I thought it was just like a fake thing, like kind of like a fake.
No,
one.
I knew for sure of Bronies' existence, but I just haven't heard from them in a couple years.
Yeah, so then like we walked past them, and then like I saw that, and then like real quickly I like scoped the scene, and I saw like all these dudes were wearing like My Little Pony shirts and like cargo shorts and
Yeah,
hoodies,
that sounds
and
about right.
a bunch of them had like plush dolls on their shoulders, and we walked past them, and I just like I was just shocked. I was like, what? And I couldn't even look back because I didn't want to be like, I didn't want them to think I was like trying to like make fun of them, but like, I'm pretty sure they don't care.
Yeah.
But like we walked past, and I looked, I got like 5 seconds of it, and that was like all I ever got to see.
Are they bronies like when they're not around 30 people?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
If they're by themselves.
is it a confidence thing where you're like, I got to be around 30 other people? Because then that way I don't stand out as much.
That's true. Maybe
I'm
yeah.
sure maybe they can get away with like a T-shirt, but with the ponies on their shoulders, it probably is like better.
Yeah,
It's safer
it
in
was
At
numbers.
least
They kind of
18
all,
people.
they kind of all look the same. It was ponytails, glasses, hoodies, a My Little Pony shirt, cargo shorts, and like
That's
low
the
top
uniform?
shoes. That's like what they were
It's a
wearing.
requirement.
Yeah, they all looked like that, and they were all just like talking to each other. I'm assuming about My Little Pony. But for those like 10 seconds that I saw them was like the first and the only time I probably
He
will
said it
ever
was
see
the worst 10 seconds of my life.
I wonder
It
if
was
they like
just-
decided to meet there. They're like everyone show
was
up here. and-
just-
A pony meetup.
It was
Probably.
just something that I don't think I'll ever see again. So it was very.
Let's ride out, boys.
It was literally like
You
should have
just-
taken a picture.
It was a one. I couldn't. I wanted to too, but like I said, I didn't want to turn around and be like,
He said,
they're gonna, 'cause
They would have followed him
I
and
couldn't
jumped
get the shutter button because my hands were just trembling too
I
hard.
was shuddering. I was like, yeah, okay. So, but anyway, wait, why did I bring that up? What were we talking about?
LARPers.
Oh, LARPers.
Oh, yeah.
LARPers in Macomb.
There's also a guy who always wears shorts and sandals. He doesn't
Even
wear.
in the winter,
he
like,
doesn't
below
wear anything
negative.
else. He
I
wears.
guess he's
Yeah.
white.
yeah, one
No,
of those
he's
guys.
he's like a foreign guy.
Oh.
I think.
Oh, maybe
He doesn't know any better.
But literally, he wears like shorts,
For 4 years.
sandals. Like I think it might be no. He wears like the
Thongs?
he wears like the
just
the
regular.
Jesus sandals. Is
Yeah.
what it is.
Oh,
He wears like
huaraches?
those. Not really
Huaracharas?
those, but the other ones, like the ones that like the strap comes through the
Huaracharas?
back.
Oh.
There's like straps
uh-huh.
in front, so he wears those, like no socks, even in the winter, and just like shirt and a short. And he wears the same thing every time, even in the rain. I'm pretty sure in the rain he just carries an umbrella because he doesn't put it like a jacket.
he,
Yeah,
he
but-
takes the umbrella out of one of the cargo pockets.
Probably.
That's what they're for.
Exactly.
Have things on the go.
Okay, so anyway, so this place apparently for sure is haunted by at least one person that they can like who it is.
Uh-huh.
It says haunting the cemetery is George Mackenzie, called the Mackenzie Poltergeist, who is said to be one of the most aggressive and active paranormal figures around. He was prosecutors of Scottish Covenanters, unless the Scottish people listen. A Presbyterian movement in the 17th century. Mackenzie's spirit, according to the legend, was released in 1999 when a homeless man looking for a spot to sleep broke into his final resting place, the Black Mausoleum.
I was gonna say, like,
if you're a homeless person, why would you go to?
He said, "Y'all mind if I sleep
Shelter.
here?"
Yeah.
This says, it was a fate predicted by famed Scottish poet Robert Louis Stephens, who referenced Mackenzie in his 1879 book.
all because of that homeless man.
And apparently it says it was once home to an estimate 1,200 unfortunate members of a failed anti-government revolution in 1679. Conditions at the prison were so brutal that only 257 of the prisoners came out alive, a portion of whom escaped or pledged loyalty to the crown 4 months after their mass incarceration.
All right, so there was a knock at the door, and we stopped recording, and then wouldn't you know it, Mario came by with some treats.
Wow.
He's still here, but not on mic.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you. Let's he came just in time for us to wrap this episode up.
Yay.
Alright, the only other thing I was going to say about this story that sounds interesting, at least to you, Steph, is that this cemetery is also just steps from the now landmark Elephant House Cafe, where J.K. Rowling first scribbled the lines of Harry Potter in a window seat overlooking George Harriet's an uncannily Hogwarts-esque school. So apparently this is like...
This is kind of the inspiration for...
Yeah, this most haunted graveyard is down the street from where Harry Potter was thought up and written.
Wow.
See, that's what it meant when they said wizarding, because I think it
Yeah,
has
well,
to
that's
do with
literally,
Harry
yeah, that's
Potter,
probably
right?
what it is, too, because people go there and they're like, oh, she wrote Harry Potter here.
What the fuck are wizards hanging out at a cemetery for?
Do you think she'd be mad if you go to the place where she wrote Harry Potter to write Harry Potter fan fiction?
Oh,
No.
I would be.
You would be?
I would.
All right, I think that's all we have for this week. So thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing and all the support we got for last week's episode of the Spooky Bucket. So keep sharing it with your friends, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at _TheSharkBoy.
You can follow me on Instagram, or don't, at iPrado95.
But mostly just don't.
Mostly don't, but if you do, don't.
Jam, where can people find you?
At really_cool for Twitter and Instagram.
Other than being a Russian spy in a scuba suit.
Yeah.
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram at AlanZF1.
worldwideweb.instagram.com/LNG 2_TME. I think.
.com.
Oh, HTTP.
So let me start from the beginning.
Let me start again.
Again, sorry, mine's long. Stephanie with 4 E's _22.
Is it really?
That is in the description.
'cause Stephanie was already taken, and then
3
3
E's
E's
was
was taken, so 4 E's.
4 E's it was.
So damn it, I have no other option but to add 4 E's in there.
All right, and then Mario, even though you weren't on the show, you got us some sweet treats. So where can people find you?
At my house, usually.
Other than being sweet.
Very scared. At PunkNap on anything.
Yeah, even
Snapchat,
Pocket Camp.
Instagram. Oh, at Pocket Camp too. Pocket Camp, literally on everything.
That game is dead to me,
Pocket
at
Camp,
least.
Animal Crossing, I love that game.
It never works for me.
Add you, I'm gonna have to.
All right, we'll see you guys next week at the Spit Bucket. We got to go to a concert.